Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Vital Dude, and I have with me the Haworth Fern chair, Halo Edition, and I love it. I love it so much. It's just, uh, there's the little badge, as you can see, for the UNSC. With adjustable lumbar support, as you can see with inside this mesh. There is extra lumbar support, which does cost a little bit extra, but it is pretty nice. I've been tinkering with it here and there. For the most part, I usually leave it on the lowest setting, but you can bring it up, and it'll help with your mid to lower back, in my opinion. Maybe closer to the top of your back, depending on how tall you are. But it works pretty good. This whole chair is obviously designed to support your back. The padding is pretty good on the seat itself. It's leather, which I think is pretty nice. It feels very comfortable. It feels very premium. It feels like a certified CEO's office chair kind of deal, But I'm going to be using it for gaming with my computer setup, of course. Plays some old school RuneScape, a little bit of Fortnite with my sister and friends. And then we got the main attraction why we bought this chair in the first place, for Halo Infinite, because I'm crazy. We got the Xbox Series X to be playing on. So, there's a lot to cover with this chair. Starting price was right around like $1,600. I actually got it for $1,400 because of the Black Friday sale on their website, which pretty much made most of their chairs 15% off, including this one. And this is obviously the Haworth Halo Edition Fern chair. So let's go over a couple things, or a few things, about this chair. So, first of all, this chair is pretty heavy, believe it or not. I'm pretty sure this chair weighs in about almost 70 pounds. So it wasn't easy to carry that chair down the steps, mind you. But other than that, once you get it to where it needs to be, it's perfect. So here's a couple tags down here next to the armrest. And underneath, they were kind of like right around here. And yeah, of course, you can just rip them off. But it says that under penalty of law, this tag should not be removed except by the consumer, which is me, which is why I was able to rip it off. And that's just a good, clear sign that nobody effed with it. And yeah, this article meets the flammability requirements. So they really do have their standards high, and that's good. And I'm happy that this chair is pretty much all and more that I was expecting it to be. Your chair is a personal tool to help you work better. Haworth Seating is built upon years of research and design with your comfort in mind. I like that. So all I'm going to do is take that off. So we got all the tags off. This I had to put on here. This is the headrest portion. It actually came without the headrest portion on it. It was in its own separate little foamed package. Excuse me. Yeah, I snapped this in. This isn't going anywhere. So let's go over the best part about this chair, which is sitting in it. The whole point of buying it in the first place. Now, I'm going to just move the camera over here just to show you guys what this chair can really do. So we're going to put it like my phone right there. So you guys now can see me in my beautiful chair. But obviously we need to show you guys why this chair is worth so much money. First of all, the material, the premium leather, the beautiful adjustable arm rests, which are just incredible. I love that I can bring them back, so if I need to go closer to my desk over here, I won't hit the desk with these because they're a lot farther back, which means I can go into this station a lot easier because I'm moving this out of my way. So if I sit closer to this chair, I can bring it back, and if I bring them back, I can get closer. But as you can see, I'm about to hit the wall here. But what people don't realize is you can also move the whole thing back closer to your waist, and you can also put the armrest down. Yes, that's right. These armrests are fully adjustable to any part of your need, and I love these armrests a lot on this chair. Actually, they're actually pretty darn good, which is surprising to say the least. You can move them here. They can pretty much hug you if you want them to hug you. And honestly, this is weird, but I like to have them completely far back in default position. And I leave them just like this. And I'll just turn it like that, like right around there. So it's kind of hard to show you all in one thing, but now that they're tilted closer to my waist, I can, here, let's put this back right here for a second. I can get a controller right over here. And if I sit down with these armrests, I can now play the game with these armrests on. Just like this. I don't have to hold the controller. If I need to hold a controller in a certain spot, it's easier than ever because I get all of that to play with. So this is just super nice. If I want to play Fortnite on my computer, I can be chill back here and play. It's really nice. So now that I go on over the armrest with everybody, which they go up pretty high, I kind of like them right around here is pretty good. I'd say a little bit of play, but it's not a big con in my opinion for the armchairs to have a little bit of play. This is the back adjustment. I can bring it up. It's actually a little bit easier if you kind of lean up a little bit, but it goes up a lot. And right now, this lump, that you see that little baggie inside, that's supporting the mid part of my back, right around here. It's pretty cool. I might actually play with it like this. It's actually kind of nice right now, but I'm gonna just leave it back to the way it was, all the way down. And now we're gonna show you my favorite part about this chair ever, which is no surprise for those of you that have used really nice back chairs. But actually, before we get to that part, there's still a couple more things I gotta share with you guys. There's two levers right here. I don't know if you can see them. There's two levers down here. This one is probably the worst feature in the entire chair. Some may not think that though, so I can't say that for everybody. But for most people, I feel like this is the worst feature that is on this chair. But pretty much, if you lift it up, the seat will go tilt down like this, and it's made so that when you play, it's forcing you to kind of sit upright and do all the work yourself, in my opinion, which I'm pretty sure that was kind of the goal. But because of that reason, eventually you stop trying to lift your back up, and you're just forced to just slouch like this the entire time, and you're not going to want that. So I think it can be adjusted to tilt all the way down or not all the way down. I think it stops right there. But anyways, that setting is pretty much the most useless setting on this chair. And then you have this. This is just simply going, if you're a really tall person, this chair will, the seat will just go like all the way. Like, see, there's this giant gap now because I moved the seat up like 3 or 4 inches with this lever right here. This is good though for really tall people. Obviously, I'm 5'7", so I don't need the seat pretty much up at all. I don't need to push it farther up. So I like to pretty much bring it all the way back. I also am not a big fan of the gap anyway. I feel like it just cools down your butt, and it's just not nearly as comfortable as having the seat all the way back. I mean, if you want a little gap, you can do that. You know, it's definitely adjustable. And you can adjust it a few times. But I personally try to use it without a gap at all, because it also will help the back when you sit down and use this bad boy. So, all right, so we got that out of the way. We talked about the seat tilt, which is just whatever. You know, we talked about the lever right here, which is obviously good for the seat moving up or back, depending on how tall you are. You also have the traditional lever that's in every office chair, which if you push this up, the seat's going to go up, and this seat definitely goes higher than any other chair I've used. My feet pretty much aren't anywhere, like, I can't, it's kind of hard to show you. See, I can't even get like my feet all the way down. Like, it goes up pretty high in my opinion. It's not bad, it's pretty good. And obviously, if you really need that extra leg room, let's show you again. All the way on the highest setting, I gotta move my butt, and now my feet are not even touching the ground right now. So if you're tall, you could still probably be pretty comfortable in this chair. But I personally think the shorter you are in this chair, the better. Because if you're like over 6 feet tall, if you're bigger than 5'10", 5'11", like if you're like 6 feet tall, let's just say if you're 6 feet tall or taller than 6 feet, I wouldn't get this chair. But you know, if you're 5'7", you know, 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", maybe even 5'11", this chair is going to be perfect for you. But as soon as you get to like about, you know, a little past 6 feet, this chair is just not for you. So there's that. Unless you don't mind having that gap. But you're going to also, I don't think it's good if you're tall, in my opinion. But hey, whatever. I'm sure you could get it to work. So I'm just going to lower this down real quick. Try to get back to a better setting here. So there's no more gap. I pretty much got rid of the gap. Gap is gone. And now, after I went through all those features about this really cool chair, I'm gonna go over the final part about this chair, which is my favorite part ever about this chair, which is the reclining. Now watch this. This is your lever. This actually controls the tension and the amount of force that you need to push back to let this thing recline. So pretty much, let's start, but then there's this other piece next to this lever, which controls the tension. This controls how far it reclines. So let's start at the very beginning. This is no recline mode at all. We're at the first click. It will not let me go any farther than this, which is why some people don't like the headrest, because If you do want to sit in this specific position, it might not be that comfortable, and it really isn't super comfortable to me, but it's still a comfortable chair. But yeah, you can't recline. This is as far as you can recline. So obviously, this isn't obviously what makes the chair amazing, but it will in just a second. So here's the second click. So now you guys can see I can recline a little bit more. And honestly, if I'm going to sit in this chair, I need to be on at least level 2 recline, which would be this, or level 3 or 4. Preferably level 3 and 4 are my favorites, and there's 5 clicks in total. So here's click 3. Going even farther back. Kind of use this thing as a rocking chair almost. Here's click 4. This is the farthest I like to go personally. And as you can see, it reclines pretty far back. And if you don't think it can recline far back, think again. Here's the 5th click. And this is as far back as it goes. But obviously, this is kind of where the headrest comes in handy. Because if you didn't have the headrest, your head would be like this. You'd have to lift your head up pretty much, obviously, in this setting. But with the headrest, you could like pretty much go to sleep. I have the tension pretty high, so it's kind of pushing me back, which is what I want. Otherwise, this is what happens when you have no tension. Yeah, I felt like I was about to fall off a skyscraper. And see, it ain't helping me get myself back up. I have to do all 100% of that work to sit back upright. And let's also take it out of the 5th recline. Let's put it on number 4. See, and then number 3. Let's just take it back to 1. That's it. Let's go to 3. And now let's go back to 4, not 5, but 4, because I want to show you what happens when I put the tension back. Already getting a little bit of that tension back. A little bit more. A little bit more. And that's kind of like right there where I want it. Well, one more turn. So this is at the 4th click, but you can put it at the 5. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. But I personally like it at click 4 because this is just the perfect amount of recline when I'm playing. I feel like it won't be very comfortable if I'm on the highest recline, because then when I'm playing, I'm going to be like this, which is honestly pretty comfortable. And if you want even more, if you got the lumbar adjusted support like I did, it's pretty good, and it's actually helping my mid back now. Mid, not low back, but mid. And I actually just felt my back crack. This feels really, really good on this setting right now. Full recline with the lumbar adjustment all the way to the top. But if you get tired of it, simply bring it all the way back down. And honestly, you can do it in between up and down, but I personally get the most out of it being either at the very top or at the very bottom. And that's the very bottom. So yeah, all in all, for $1,400 with that $200 off Black Friday deal, I couldn't ask for a better chair. This chair is absolutely stellar. It is amazing, and there's not really many other chairs that come close to this chair, at least to me. Not to mention, there are the special knit version of this chair, which is more comfortable, but you might get a little bit more hot sitting in that chair because you don't have that mesh air that's going through this one. nitpicky things really, but it's all preference. The seat itself is pretty darn comfortable. If I do feel like I need that gap, you go for it, but I personally like it at the lowest setting just because it does keep me nice and comfortable and warm. But I can push it back, and I can push it back even more and more, but really I gotta do this again. But yeah, it's pretty good. I am definitely a little OCD with this chair because obviously I did spend a little over $1,400 on this chair, so I do try to make sure everything is the way it needs to be. This is with this is like the one adjustment up with the gap. And it's pretty nice on this setting. It's actually maybe even a little more comfortable, but really I like it without the gap. I just like it without that gap. This has also a small lever right here. This lever is actually bigger. And this is the smaller lever. Then I can go back over here, play my game if I want. I'm not gonna hit anything. And this is just awesome. This is just absolutely awesome. I don't know if there's anything else I can say about this chair besides that if you have the money and you've been trying to save up for a good chair, I would go all out and get one of these because this is the limited edition Halo chair, obviously, and you know you're not gonna really probably find one of these after like another year or two. Like they're probably just gonna stop making this eventually. But you just get a different Fern because you can get a different Fern for literally like $400 or $500 cheaper than the one I'm sitting in right now. And yours might even be, just to be honest, yours might even be more comfortable than the one I'm using. Because even though I really do like this leather seat, I think it's really nice. It's really nice quality. The knit seat probably would be better. And yes, I feel like the knit, if this was all knit, if the mesh wasn't mesh and it was knit, it would probably be even more comfortable. But I honestly think the mesh is pretty darn good anyway. From a comfort standpoint, it's really not that bad. And yeah, it's not furry like the knit, but whatever. The big pro with having the mesh is I feel like it'll definitely keep you a lot cooler for longer periods of time than the knit. So that's also something to keep in mind. But really, as long as you're getting this chair from Haworth, the Fern, you will not be disappointed. This is such a nice chair, and I love every second of this. So, I can show you the tension. We talked about if you loosen the tension all the way, you'll just fall back, so you gotta watch out for that. But obviously, once you have everything set up, there's nothing else you really have to do. You're pretty much golden. You're set. And then, again, we're not even at full recline. Actually, we are. Never mind. I don't like full recline though. I do, but not when I'm gaming. Here it is again. I'll put it on 4 though. 4 is pretty good, but if you don't like 4, it goes all the way back. Alrighty. I think I've ran it long enough. I hope that this review helped you. Again, this chair weighs like almost 70 pounds, right around 70 pounds, so keep that in mind. It's mainly the seat section that's extremely heavy, so be careful. This is light as a feather. This is not light. This is very heavy, as I'm struggling to lift it up. But, yeah. So go ahead, do the right thing. Please your body, please your back and your buttocks, because this chair is the only chair you'll ever need to sit in for watching movies, for gaming, office work, editing, music, you name it. And this chair has got your back, literally. I'm Vital Dude, and thank you for watching my Haworth Halo Edition Fern Chair review.